Now, Phazon also had a pretty solid run through the tournament yesterday as well, trying to find him here. He 2-0'd Kostelix, very impressive. Then he got 2-0'd by Sandstorm. That sent him down into the loser's bracket. Then in the loser's bracket, he 2-0'd a Tropheus to make it into top 8. And then now he is up against Khui. Now we're coming in on this Mammoth Fortress pick. Is Khui going to be able to space out Phazon with his blasters? That is what you want to do. You see him backdashing. He wants to create that space so that Phazon cannot get in that gun dead zone. You see those little pops, those tiny explosions. It's not like a bullet that starts at the barrel of the gun and moves out. It's sort of a pop that appears in the air, sort of maybe 1 to 1.5 character links or hurtbox links away. So there definitely is a dead zone where if Phazon gets in, he can stick to Khui really well, except when Khui has Katars. Then it's the complete opposite. Khui wants to be right on top of Phazon, throwing out those nairs, those neutral lights, those down lights, those side lights. Yeah, bud. You know what? Normally when people pick weird stuff, I'm always like, oh crap, now I'm gonna see all of this character in my ranked games and I'm not ready for it, so I'm gonna lose. Nah, play Rayman against me. I'll be so excited to lose. That'll be the only time I'm happy with losing is to a Rayman player. Let's get more Rayman in tournament. Let's get more Rayman in ranked. I want to see more Rayman. Daiku, you alright, man? You're speechless by this performance from Khui so far today. He has Phazon on his second stock. He's getting into the latter stages of yellow right now. Phazon's juggling Khui in the air. He's almost able to land. He's able to get back, eats a side air. The weapon toss going to go right over. He's still able to get back. The higher than average defense coming out from Lucian. And Khui is able to utilize that to the absolute maximum. You see him immediately stripping the field, even though he was the first to pick up a weapon. He threw that back, picked up the blasters. Phazon's able to pick up the kill and grab a weapon. Again, now Phazon's going to be the one to strip the field. Has a sword in hand. Khui is unarmed, not able to pick up that weapon. The neutral signature from Val is not necessarily the strongest option. Definitely doesn't have a lot of force in it, but Phazon's using it really well. And I say that right as Khui ends that beautiful string with a neutral signature for the kill. Not even a kill percent right now. And Khui is keeping the train rolling, taking out player after player. Players that are very high on the power ranking system. After this tournament, Kui's power ranking could definitely jump.
Khui so far has been incredible with his guitars, man. We saw it yesterday. He genuinely, the tempo we were talking about, it was like music. He has one hit, hit, one hit, hit. It's like this continuous tempo that just slightly changes up. However, as we say, that Phazon's so proficient with these Val signatures, Sparky.
Yeah, he's really good. Now, in the past, we saw Addy Mestic use like a lot of that signature right there. He would pick up so many kills with that Val Gauntlet side signature because it's really good. Great hitbox, tough to punish, moves you and everything. But the rest of the signature kit was sort of left by the wayside. But now we're seeing a player like Phazon, who was a longtime Val player as well. Even back when he used to play Val, didn't use the signatures quite like this, quite as frequently. Didn't get quite as many hits. Look at this Qatar mastery coming out from Khui. I love it when a player can play both weapons so sufficiently.
Sparky, this man is crazy. That grandpa was I'm gonna end it all right here and now. He literally had no options. Phazon could have turned on him at any time, but the pressure is so immense that Phazon is a bit shaky on that. He has a side there. He has no recovery. This is an opportunity. Goes back. Down sick. Side sick. I like that. Phazon probably did not expect him to. Oh!
How did he contested that with a neutral?
Oh
my gosh, that would have been so close. Probably would have led to the kill. Now, I think we didn't see a real heavy edge guard coming out from Khui right there because the soft platform was there. He knew that was in the way, didn't want to go for the hard edge guard. He's able to pick up game 1 against Phazon with a beautiful recovery there in the end. Phazon sticking to this character. We're not seeing the Jiro swap. We're not seeing a swap to any other, any blaster legend or anything like that. He's sticking with the Val. And of course, Khui is wisely sticking with this Lucian pick. Going into the strength stance, usually what a lot of Lucian players do, making it going from 3 to 4, more acceptable strength on a character, a little bit easier to kill with. Definitely makes those signatures much more potent.
Sparky, that recovery was reminiscent of how LDZ reverses the recoveries on people with guns.
Yeah.
But he did it with Katars. As Phazon quite literally perfectly positioned up with him horizontally, Khui fast fell into a perfect recovery that barely killed Phazon. As I say that, Phazon getting that nice three-piece with unarmed. Phazon getting these hits, man. Read after read. Oh, Khui with that
nice down signature right over the edge.
That.
He made sure to land on the platform so he didn't go down. He could have possibly eaten a Phazon Nair, which could have put a huge edge guard situation into Phazon's favor that likely could have led to the kill. So Khui doing the safe option there, putting out a little bit of a hitbox, low risk, possibly
Lord,
medium to high reward. Look at him just chasing
Dude,
Phazon.
It's better than Wrench. I'm serious.
He straight up is right now. Like Khui's chasing is so good.
The way Khui is doing it is a bit more aerial based, while Wrench is a bit more grounded based on how he gets his strings. Khui is doing these nair into nair strings, where he does the original nair, gets another nair, and then continues off of that. Phazon, though, trying to get that side, he barely misses. Khui positions himself on the right side to get another recovery on him, does not hit.
He's trying to chase so hard with that recovery. But you were talking about Khui's aerials, and not only just like the moves that he's using and how he's using them in the air, his landings are really good as well. Like he's blowing a lot of his in-air movement options before he lands, which normally could be really risky because if Phazon's ready to catch the landing, and even if you're in orange, if you get hit off the stage and don't have any more jumps,
Phazon,
like you'll get one jump from getting hit, but beyond that, you might not have enough. Could lead to early kills, but Khui is able to land quite safely very often. He's able to also attack his opponent from the ground and in the air. Khui showing so much control here, and Phazon is going pretty much dead even with him so far. He has a little bit of a lead right now. We're seeing Phazon's gauntlets really come alive. He's really starting to find those strings as well. So
Phazon's gauntlets right now honestly look like how Wilson was finding his hits, except that he's actually comboing with it. And I just say that side air to weapon throw was actually enough because it contested Khui's recovery, and for some reason Khui could actually not make it back with a singular jump, even though he was so close.
This is going to be a big lead that Khui's going to have to come back from.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me though, it's Khui. Honestly, he's shown so proficient with these strings, it would not surprise me if he gets one string into a down stick at the end, which pretty much takes the KO. And if I'm right about that, I'm gonna... Yeah.
Phazon's got to be careful on the edge.
Okay.
Khui falls down. He was able to slide along that wall, so he reset his jumps. There's a ground pound. Gets the side air. That could be it, I believe. Oh, he got the chase dodge on hit. And we're seeing both of them going at it on the edge. Phazon can take that death. He had a full stock lead at this point. Khui's about halfway through his first stock. Khui went all in there, though. Like, that was such a big risk that he was able to capitalize on.
Khui used like what, 2 clashes to pretty much send Phazon to oblivion. That was incredible.
And he kept going. He wasn't like, "Ooh, that's a lucky clash. I might not get so lucky next time. I'm gonna go back to the wall and get back to the platform." He's like, "I got 1. I could probably get 2."
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially with the way he got that though, with the Sarah. Oh, Khui with that down C. That was a bit early. Oh, he's dead.
Yep.
He had to use his recovery and did not touch the wall at the end. And Phazon barely got that sliding side air. Phazon with the clapback. Takes the second game. Khui needs to figure out how to deal with these gauntlets, in my opinion. So back in the day, when gauntlets, I don't know if gauntlets changed or what it was, but Katars pretty much just destroyed gauntlets on stage. It wasn't even a contest. Katars hitboxes had way better priority. The hitboxes were better. The recovery times were better. All that, and it allowed gauntlets to pretty much not do anything. However,
also people didn't like gauntlets were new, and people have been playing gauntlets or Katars for years. So there was just like so much experience that Katar players had that gauntlet players just didn't have time to develop yet. But go back to what you were saying.
But now, with how much like I've tried gauntlets on my own against very good Katar players, I actually believe that gauntlets at worst go 50-50 against Katars, if not 55-45, which is very small, but it's not that matchup where you pick Katars to beat gauntlets, you know what I mean? And that's on stage. Off stage, no contest, gauntlets wins it out.
Yeah, for sure. Gauntlets off stage, like Nair Katars don't have anything that compares to
nothing.
Gauntlet Nair. You can control so much with Gauntlet Nair, and even Gauntlet Ground Pound. Like you can steer it. It's a great ground pound. It moves more quickly. Like Katar Ground Pound moves very slowly through the air. You're stuck in sort of that single kind of thin channel when you're going straight down. Gauntlet has a lot of force on it. It moves more quickly, and you can steer it left and right. Nice neutral signature there from Phazon. But yeah, Gauntlets have more than a couple moves that just don't even have anything near that can compare to them when you compare them to Katars. Like, not even close.
Yep. Katars have to... It's weird to say, but Katars have to work a lot sometimes against Gauntlets in terms of what they have to do to get the same amount of damage. However, so far, man, Khui looking pretty hot still.
We're almost 1.5 minutes into this game. Neither player has been killed. Both of them taking a ton of damage on this relatively small map of Miami Dome. The D-Light recovery will kill, though, even though Phazon was less damaged, or sorry, more damaged. He was actually able to take the first stock.
Yep. I think we saw Phazon doing that down there to say, oh, is that gonna kill? No, Val's defense coming in clutch. There's also another part about Val that's so great. Oh, Khui drops the recovery.
Yeah.
Another part about Val's being so great as a character is the high defense with that coupled with the high movement speed. Like that stat balance is just so strong when you have a high defense, high movement speed character, especially on something like Sword.
And that's kind of the compromise that Val makes by having that high defense, a little bit less force. But when you have a good signature kit and you can have so much offstage control with the gauntlets and with Sword, look at that. Look what he's able to do with that Nair. It is such a strong move. What a wonderful ground pound.
The reversal!
Turning it around Khui. That was beautiful.
Phazon actually kind of dropped that. A bit unfortunate. He thought that ground pound would have been just enough to straight up kill him, but it was not. Khui had also touched, so he managed to get back because of that. Phazon mistiming his last ground pound, not getting the KO.
Yeah, I think the choice to go for the second ground pound was the big commitment that he made that I don't think he really needed to make. That's a beautiful ground pound right there.
That was clean.
But he did it 2 times in a row in the exact same spot. So all Khui had to do was go out into that push-off column, and it wasn't even a problem. I think if he maybe would have saved it for a moment and gone for a Nair instead, but of course that's split-second decision-making. That's so hard to do sometimes in the moment. There's a nice down air.
I mean, another choice that you can do when you have when either unarmed or you have Katars is Phazon with these strings. Is that just as if you're that close to the ledge, which he was pretty much right next to the wall when he down aired. You can actually fast fall as much as you can to get to the bottom, then down there, and you will clip. So Phazon cannot get the punish while you're getting your wall touch. If you had done that, you would actually survive. It's one of the few cases where you can do that, and only Katars and what's it called? Unarmed can do that. Gauntlets can, but it's a bit slow with the ground pound.
Lance down there will get cut off. Once you touch that wall, you'll get pretty much immediately halted, even though it isn't that 45-degree angle. Yeah, you're exactly right.
Actually, what you can do with Lance, though, is you can double wall cancel.
That's true.
And that's something not a lot of people do, but, I mean, yeah. There's a lot of cool options in Brawlhalla that you can do. Man, the skill, there's so much stuff that is not done yet in this game, and I just love that. Anyways, on this game, Phazon looking so solid so far, just straight up controlling and taking the lead as far as possible.
Nice fast fall there coming out from Phazon to dip down below where that down signature was. That was the first time that Khui really did it that deep into the push-off column. He did that right on the corner. Normally you see players back up like he was doing earlier. Sometimes he was ending them like right on that corner. Sometimes he was doing a little bit further forward, closer to the edge, so it would go right down around the corner if Phazon wanted to recover higher on that wall. But that was the first time he really did it that deep. I'm surprised that Phazon, it seemed like he knew that was coming, which is why he fast fell and was able to get around behind Khui for the punish. So that was great on Phazon for sort of recognizing the circumstances that would lead up to that down signature. That's a little bit strange and not necessarily the most obvious to predict compared to the other down signatures that we would expect coming out from Khui. I'm
gonna have to say it, and honestly, it looks like Khui is reverting back to how we used to play, like as a quote-unquote ranked player, or yesterday we saw shades of a player that almost has complete competitive knowledge, has strong neutral understanding, doesn't extend too hard, takes it chill after he gets 2 to 3 hits, chooses lesser punishable options. But now he's kind of reverting to a bit more cheesy playstyle where he doesn't attack and hopes for the signature, stuff like that. The Khui we saw yesterday is a bit different from what we see right now, and Phazon's season gameplay is truly taking it away so far. And I'm afraid that if Khui doesn't go back to what he was doing earlier, what he was doing yesterday, this might already be over for his top 8 performance.
I think you possibly might be right on the nose there with that. It is 2-1 in this set. Now keep in mind they are in the losers bracket. That neutral signature is going to put Khui onto his second stock. Meanwhile, Phazon probably not even halfway through his first stock. Stripping the field of the weapon. Somehow he's able to get back to that sword. I can't believe that didn't despawn. Kui's able to find a weapon relatively quickly. There's the neutral light into the D-light recovery. Another recovery. Phazon looking to gimp off the top here. Continues the string. And Khui, despite showing so much control yesterday and even earlier in this set, Phazon is just possibly about to run away with this. Nice punish, gets the dash in after the neutral light.
Yeah, at this point, Phazon is just doing what he should as a season player, and that is straight up get the biggest advantage he can and just run with the lead. And Khui is fishing every time. Yeah, Khui has reverted, man. It's kind of unfortunate to see, and I don't want to rack on it too much because of how great he's been playing, but like, this is the thing about like participating in tournaments, and I genuinely love that. As Khui progresses and gets a bit more tournament experience, he will continue understanding that sometimes you gotta let go of the ranked habits a bit, and that's what I'm seeing from Khui. However, it's not over yet. Still pretty possible. It's just that if he doesn't change his gameplay right now, Phazon's looking about to take this, man.
And that's what's so interesting about, we're in top 8 now, so every player here is very good. You have to play at your absolute best basically the entire time, or they're going to find a way in. They're going to find a way to exploit any weakness that you give them. And this is the beginning of the tournament. So if Khui even is able to move on from this, it's just going to get harder and harder. He's in the losers bracket too, so there's more pressure. Able to dodge back. He almost went into the push-off column, then saw that weapon toss coming and dodged back over into the wall. But Phazon has this full stock lead up on Khui right now. And you were talking about a game earlier that was like less than 3 minutes. We're at 3 minutes right now, and Phazon still has 2 stocks.
Phazon's being methodical, being a bit slower, just taking hits wherever he can because he just wants to build an advantage as much as possible. Honestly, if Khui taking this back and doing a comeback is probably going to be the greatest showing of whether he is a quote-unquote top contender and possible contender for becoming a new top player in the game.
We're seeing those down signatures over the edge. Phazon wants him on that wall for more reasons than one. He can contest him on the edge with the gauntlets. We've already seen that. He can contest him on the edge with the sword. We've already seen that.